Hey, welcome to My Favorite Product. We're here for another exciting episode. Thanks for joining us. And today we have Majana Havranek. Hi, Majana. How are you?
I'm doing very well. How are you doing, John?
I'm doing great. Thanks so much for being here. If you haven't seen the show before, what we're trying to do here, we have a lot of fun doing it. We bring some of the best thought leaders in product management onto the show, and we simply ask them, what's your favorite product and why? And we kind of delve into those products and really just try to plumb the minds of the product leaders out there today and understand how they think about their favorite products. So we're excited to have you today, Majana. If you wouldn't mind just giving folks a brief introduction around yourself and kind of your journey in product management.
Sure, why not? So I'm head of product in a AI startup here in Croatia. We also operate in Germany and in the States, and I was the first product person my company ever had. And at the moment, I'm also team lead here, wearing so many hats and living, as I like to say on Twitter/X, living a crazy product management life. So this is me in the shortest way possible. And if you want to hear about my background and journey, it's mostly media and marketing and business
Okay.
development. So I actually ended up in product management by accident. So we can say it like that because my company was searching for a product person, and we had a couple of attempts. We tried to bring some very cool product guys to the company, but let's say that. Our company culture was a little bit specific at that time, and then we decided that we want to have someone from the company, and this is how I became product person from being a business development person.
Oh, nice. Yeah, it's always interesting. We all come from different angles and directions to get into product management, it seems. So that's great to hear. And gosh, we always appreciate folks making time for us. And really appreciate your time because I imagine you're wearing all sorts of different hats at a early startup as a product person.
I'm grateful that you invited me, John.
All right. So why don't we jump right into it? What is your favorite product that we're going to discuss today?
Whoa. So when you approached me, when you asked me about that, there was one product that instantly crossed my mind, and that was Tinder. So today I would just love to talk about Tinder if you don't mind.
No, I'm really excited and I'm very curious because personally I missed the whole dating app craze and I'm going to date myself here. Um, I met my wife in 2005 and I think, within the next couple of years, I'm not sure about this, but it felt like that's when the whole dating app, market exploded, obviously with mobile phones and social and everything else. And and yeah, so I never really got to experience it. I hear about it. I hear about swipe left, swipe right, and all this stuff. But really, really curious about how they work and why they're your favorite product. So, what is it about Tinder that you really like?
You know, I haven't used Tinder for 3 years right now, which means that I was heavy user 4 years ago, 5 years ago. And
Yeah,
what really fascinates me, you said that you don't know about it, so now I'm going to tell you. Okay. So at that time, Tinder had like nothing. It just had like profile, which consisted of a photo. You could just place some text there. You had swipe left, swipe right, and you had messages, and that was all. And even with that, it like made such a great impact on my life. So today I can actually talk from two perspectives. The first one, me as a product person, that perspective. I would love to
sure.
start with, and then how I felt it and what I experienced as an end user. So, what I really appreciate about Tinder is in terms of me being a product person. So, as I said, it had almost nothing. And when you're a product person, when you want to improve your product, very often, I would even say too often, we just end up in that rabbit hole of building more features. We are trying to have like more shiny features, which is really like nonsense, and we don't need it, because if you define user need in a good way, and if you have a core loop, that's actually good. And Tinder had both of that. You have all you need to have. Now I will just switch to a little bit to my user perspective, because that's where magic happened. when I was thinking about everything and this topic, I realized that some of the most amazing people in my life right now, I actually met them on Tinder.
Yeah.
Fun fact is, even the first product person in my life, I met him on Tinder. That was a guy from the States who was in Croatia at that time, and I just saw that he's product manager, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to swipe right, just
We
the
have
typical.
something in common. Yeah.
Yeah. So some of the really, as I said, like amazing people, and what was like so great here, Tinder actually made my world bigger at that time. It's very important. Maybe I'm a good target group. Maybe I was a good target group because I live here in the capital of Croatia. It's called Zagreb.
Uh-huh.
Zagreb is not, we have like 800,000 people here. So the city is not too big. If you live here I live here 20 years, you almost know everyone you actually had to know. So at one point I was like, I would love to meet some other people, some people that are maybe not from Croatia, etc.
Yeah.
And when I went there, the whole world actually opened to me because so many people are coming here, and I saw that power, of Tinder being such a powerful tool of connecting people. So if I look when I look in my life right now, I can say that it will be different without me having Tinder and meet all these great people there. So with some of them, I became like friend. With some of them, I just partner related to my business.
Oh,
So
interesting. Okay.
so that's what happened. And also one fun fact related to that. So my partner, my boyfriend, I met him in the real world. I didn't, I didn't meet him there. And I think this speaks volumes about how much I actually appreciate Tinder, but because it even didn't bring me my partner in my life. So
Yeah. Yeah.
how I see it, like back then, as I mentioned in the beginning, they detected human need in an amazing way, and they had this very, very powerful and simple core loop. And I would just love, I know that your target group here, we are like product people, so I would just love product people to hear that. Let's just talk a couple of seconds about that core loop. So you come there, you just invest a couple of seconds, you just see who is there, you swipe here, you swipe there. If you like someone, you will probably match with that person. Once after you match, you will start to talk, and maybe you will even go for have a drink or whatever, doesn't matter. So it's so simple, and it's yet so powerful. So I think that this is actually what caused such a big impact,
Huh.
in my life, actually. So yes, the core message is, we don't need shiny features, we know that we don't need everything polished, etc., to have something that actually influences users' life. And I just went to see, maybe a year ago, we were doing a product discovery for some client, and then we also went there to see how Tinder is doing and how their onboarding is working. And I was really shocked how they improved over time. Now you have you can exchange songs and all this, nice stuff. But even without that, it was just amazing. And John, I think when I look how I see it right now, I see it as a powerful tool. I see Tinder as a powerful tool that actually can connect people, and my memories related to it are completely positive. I don't
Yeah.
have all the negative experiences, and you know why? It's as I said, it's a tool, and you need to know how to use a tool.
Yes. Yes.
It's like everything, do you agree? It's like everything in life. And it wasn't, for me, it wasn't just to come there and just to be there. For example, I iterated my profile so many times to get what I want. I was changing how to present myself. I was changing my photos. So as a real product person, I was iterating and iterating. I didn't start to
Testing and yeah.
yeah, I did. Then I just started to attract the group of people I want to become connected with, So that was important. And even I iterated, and I had my algorithms when it comes to communication. I was like, okay, what are the questions I'm going to ask? What are the filters I'm going to have? So I also wanted to say, it's not always It's not always about, oh, there is a product and you are there and you like it or not. No, you just need to use the tool. It's very similar. If I can just make an analogy. So since I'm in AI business, okay, and people are always like, okay, so AI maybe will, AI is bad, AI will do this, AI will do that. Then I'm again, guys, AI is just a tool. Like knife, with knife you can kill someone, but you can also make an
Make your
amazing.
food. Yeah.
Exactly. So I just want to be clear about that it's not always a responsibility on the product and product people. We as a users also need to think of how to use the product. So I don't know, what do you think about what I said so far, but these are my core impressions when it comes to Tinder.
I like several of the things you said. I'd like to go back, and I consider myself to be pretty experienced in product, but I'm not sure I've used the term or heard the term much, core loop. And I'm really interested in that. How would you define, just even outside of Tinder, how would you define core loop in terms of products?
So core loop is something that we users constantly need to be able to repeat to create a habit. You know what's the
Ah,
best example? Duolingo is the best example. I don't know, do you use it, but Duo, AI assistant, that's Duolingo's assistant, of course, reaches out to people every day and say, hey, Majana, do you have a minute? And I have a minute. I go there, and Duo then says, okay, here are the words you can use that day. And then not use, sorry, to learn them. And then
sure.
I just, I learned these words. And then he says, oh, you're the best. You rock. And then I'm done. So it's just, it actually covers what I do as an investment, as a user. First of all, I need to see opportunity. Okay.
Yeah.
And then I'll start with my core loop. Then I just need to see, I need to do something. And in the end, I get the reward. So I would say that without core loop, a product actually cannot be successful. This is a little bit theory of products and everything right now, and maybe we don't have so much time for that. But I would just love everyone to maybe Google a little bit and just to see the theory behind that. And I would love to tell you that very often people just call us and they say, oh, our product doesn't work. We are doing something probably that's bad. Maybe we don't, I don't know, communicate well to our users. And when we take a look into their products, we're like, guys, but you don't have a core loop. Feature cannot be a core loop. You
Yeah.
cannot
Yeah.
say, oh, we have a new feature. Users are like, why are you even reaching out to me and talk about yourself? Tell
Yeah.
me what's in for me as a user. So this is like core loop, something you can constantly repeat, something little, and that actually creates a habit.
Yeah, that's great. I love that. And little homework assignment for all our viewers, right? Go look that up and maybe even think about it in terms of your own product. And I really also love what you said about just extreme simplification, right? There's a goal in mind, as you mentioned, right? A reward that I'm going to get if I go through the core loop. And it seems like Tinder's just very focused on making sure that nothing gets in the way of that path, right? And that it's very clear. You see that a lot with applications where, and I'm the classic example. I will give up if you're throwing too much at me. I've got too much going on in my professional and personal life. If I'm trying a new app and there's a lot coming at me and I need to, invest a lot in trying to think through it, I'm probably going to bail, especially in these days and this day and age. So that's great. Anything about Tinder that you might want to change, right? Something that could be improved still.
Yeah, definitely. Some things when I went through onboarding that year ago that I mentioned, I was like, no, this is not good. For example, you have like 100 interests you can choose. You go from one screen to another and you can just see all these little tags and it's complete mess. And I think that they cannot even detect users' interest well, because who want to engage with these screens? It's just
Yeah.
too much. And so I think that they should also to apply these principles that they had like years ago, and
Hmm.
just simplify all of that, and to change it. So I will definitely change onboarding. And as you said, I really like how they started from the scratch with the core loop only. And once when they got all these users and core loop working, then they started to add, more shiny things. So when I saw that they're actually doing really good, I was like happy, you know, as in
You're proud of them. Yes.
yeah. So I just felt like, wow, this thing makes sense. So yeah, now I'm not using it just because my life became different. I spend
Yeah.
much more time now in London, and I have my partner. So, you know, it's just different, but kudos to them. Yeah, definitely.
So that's really interesting, and I'm going to go off the typical script here. It sounded like you were using it to meet people, and some of those people became business acquaintances, right? Some of those became friends. Um, I'm just thinking about some of the opportunities there. I mean, I'm in a mentor program, or I was in a mentor program for a couple of the product communities that I'm in. And I think it would be great if somebody could kind of, instead of just being randomly matched to a mentor or a mentee, could kind of swipe around and say, oh, there's John. He's been in the marketing automation space, for a number of years, and he's in the Northeast or whatever, is important to them, and be able to say, yes, I want that person to be my mentor. And I'm just using one example. You talked about how, Tinder is a tool like a knife, and it can do all sorts of different things. Is there an opportunity for Tinder to be more than just, someone looking for a romantic partner? Because it seems like you received some benefits there too, and that you met people that became had other roles in your life, right?
Definitely, you are going in the right direction. So I saw so many people actually offering their services or trying to find clients. For example, fitness, how
Ah,
to say, coaches, you know.
yeah.
And also, I was laughing last week because somewhere in Asia, you just see that people create their profiles and they're like, "Is there someone who could help me with math? Is there someone who can help me solve this problem?" So as I said, there are some people there who actually, of course, only search for something romantic, but it can actually bring other people in your life. But this is the matter of how you present yourself
Yeah.
and how good your filter there is. For example, just to reveal a little bit about my famous profile, I always love to put the music I listen to. You know, I just love to put like hip hop, Afro beats and stuff. And then, of course, I attracted people who are into that. I also wrote the time in the AI business, and of course, then people who are here for work in Zagreb, they were like, "Oh, maybe this person is interesting. Let
Yeah.
me
Yeah.
connect with her." So I can really tell you that in my case, it was 95% of business and business related and friend stuff, and maybe 5% of something romantic, which is like really not significant,
Yeah,
you
that's
know.
funny because I'd always thought of the app as that latter part, someone looking for, a partner um, in their personal life. I didn't realize that it could be used for different reasons. And I think, yeah, I mean, I'm in the marketing automation space, and we have all sorts of features and tools. And if people misuse our product, they could do some damage to their organization. They could send emails out to everybody and blast emails out, right? So again, it's all about. I think that's a great lesson for today is, ensuring that you're using the tool the way that is going to help you reach your intended end result or goal, right? And I think that's a really key lesson that a product manager can build their app to try and help with too. You mentioned like putting in your interest or building out your profile in a certain way. How can Tinder maybe help people craft a profile that helps them get to their end goal? That's a great lesson. um, the last question I have for you is, how has Tinder made you a better product manager? I mean, you mentioned some of the things already about Core Loop, but anything else you wanted to share around how it might reflect in your day-to-day today?
Yeah, definitely. This is something that actually mentioned in the beginning, but now I can elaborate it a little bit. Whenever my team goes into that rabbit hole of we need to polish this, we need to put this, let's also add this. I'm just like, guys, remember Tinder and the core loop. We don't need all of this. Let's just focus on let's just focus on the essentials. So actually, this is like that magic word here in the team. When I say Tinder, sometimes I'm just like, I hope that people are not listening to us, you know, outside the team, because people like thinking, what are these guys talking about Tinder all the And this is
What are they
like a
building in there?
yeah, like what are they doing? So I definitely use that as an example, not even here in the team, but when I talk to people at all these, I don't know, panels and conferences, I just love to use this example, especially because now I'm talking from the distance. After so many years, I still feel that benefits, and I just saw how it made my world bigger, and you cannot run away from that. So
Yeah. Yeah.
to win definitely for me, yeah. And but I would also love to recap from my side. Definitely the key lesson for today is less is more, and core loop is very important for all our product folks out there.
Love it. I love it. That's a great lesson to go out on. Majana, this has been excellent. Very, very thought provoking and insightful. If folks wanted to follow you or gain even more insight from you, where could they find you?
I'm very active on X. I mean Twitter. It depends how you like it. I'm not gonna go into that battle right now. So I'm
Different episode.
yeah. So I'm Mayaverse. They're like metaverse. I created my own little verse.
I like it. Yeah.
So it's Mayaverse, and what I usually try to do there is just share thoughts on product management and products, and also about on AI, because since I'm in AI business, that's, we all know, very hot topic. So yeah, we can connect there. Why not?
Yeah. And I could vouch for you. That's how we met. Is I was really enjoying some of the content that you had published onto X. So thanks for doing that. Thanks for sharing with the product community, and thanks for being on the show today.
Thank you very much, John, for inviting me.
All right. Thanks, Mama.